Everyone wants to be successful. Nobody wants to lose. Losing isn't what breaks people. The wrong perspective about loss is what breaks people. Two people can go through the same situation. One gets stuck for years and never recovers. The other one grows, adapts, and ends up better than before. The difference isn't what they lost, it's how they decided to look at it. It's how they responded to the loss. The difference between you and the successful you is even when they lost, they kept trying. If you look at any major turning point in life, you'll notice a pattern. You grow after something is lost or changed. You feel different after learning something you kept failing at. You become more confident after being humbled and overcoming it. Loss isn't a punishment, it's necessary to the development of your character and pushes you to strive for better even when you feel like life is going against you. Research shows that big life changes show that around 70% of long term personal growth happens after a loss, not during calm, stable periods. In other words, if nothing is being taken away, nothing can be created. To put it into better perspective, I'll give you some examples. When someone loses a job, the first reaction is to panic. You may have bills to pay, car insurance, tuition, or just need the money. But months later, most people tend to realize it pushed me to get better, it forced me to learn new skills, it made me look for something I actually wanted. Losing the job didn't make them grow. The fact that they lost and got back up is what made them grow. It forces you into a corner where you're now forced to do something different. It feels good to accomplish something new after feeling like you took a loss. Getting set back as an athlete, getting injured, losing your starting spot, months of work gone to waste. It feels like a big waste of time and one of the worst feelings any athlete can relate to. But a shockingly large percentage of elite athletes say injury improved their career because it forced them to study the game deeper, train smarter, take better care of their body, forced them to train differently in the meantime, appreciate the opportunity, and rebuild their mindset. Look at Kevin Durant, Kobe, Kyrie, and that's just basketball. They could have let the loss take them over, but their perspective didn't allow it, which forced them to grow and learn from it. Losing someone can feel like losing your whole future. Thinking about having kids, a house together, and getting married, but afterwards, most people don't realize the benefits of it. It showed you what you like and dislike, gives you awareness of certain tendencies, and makes you hold yourself to a higher standard and the ability to choose more wisely. The loss didn't ruin your life, it reset your vision. Now I want to tell you a story about a time that I felt like I lost everything. This takes place when I was 17 and maybe 10 days away from my 18th birthday. I was working multiple jobs, valet, Chipotle, and I had a business in between. My dad had gave me his old car, which was a Lexus IS 250, which was in pretty good condition for how long he used it for. I had saved up the most amount of money I've ever had, which was about 10K at the time. I was on my way to work and one of my tires popped and I spun out into a guardrail. I immediately called my girlfriend at the time, and my voice was shaky. It felt like I was in a deep state of shock. At the time, I didn't have insurance, and a police officer just so happened to be close. Not only was my car barely drivable, I had to go to court, and I got my license suspended, and pay for the damages to the guardrail, which totaled up to around 7 to 8 thousand. Pretty much everything I worked for that summer. I was stuck blaming everyone else, and not accepting accountability that I lost motivation for a month or two. Then I had a realization that things could have been much worse, and it's best to move on and keep pushing. I'm glad that it happened looking back at it. It taught me how to take care of my car, how to handle losing, and the importance of getting back up even after feeling like I had lost it all. It's been over a year since that happened, and I've learned so much about life, keeping a positive mindset, and most importantly, I learned who I wanted to be. How perspective turns losses into power. Here's a big part most people don't understand. Loss does not automatically lead to growth. Perspective and discipline do. Start by changing the way you look at things. Change, why is this happening to me? To what is this showing me? One door traps you, the other leads you to the next room. I lost something. To I cleared space for something better. You can't add good habits when old ones linger. Why does everything happen to me? To this loss is only a part of the journey. Hard moments reveal character more than they hide it. I failed. To it didn't work out. On to the next. Experience is paid for, loss is the tuition. When people fear loss, they cling to things they've outgrown, relationships they've already mentally left, jobs that drain them, habits that limit them, identities that no longer fit. Avoiding loss slowly drains you, not help you. People who grew the most aren't fearless, they're just willing to keep trying even if things aren't going in their favor. Loss is a lens, not a life sentence. Loss doesn't mean you're failing, loss means you're transitioning. If you can change the way you look at loss, the loss itself changes. Your confidence comes back. Your direction becomes clearer. Your standards increase. Your strength becomes real, not just words. The importance of loss is simple. It forces you to change perspective and stop avoiding taking risks. It reveals the path you were meant to take while slowly building your mental toughness.